Konnichiwa, kurutu desu. Rokuji ni yukoso. Hey everyone, welcome to week 6 of my Japanese vlog, where I'm going to be just basically explaining my learning process as I go from knowing no Japanese to fluency, hopefully, and detailing my Japanese trip, which is going to be coming up in, I believe, 7 weeks now. Last week was definitely a little bit of a hiccup. I got my wisdom teeth removed, all 4 of them. It was something that needed to be done, especially before I went to Japan, because they were already starting to give me some pain. They were growing in like straight down, and then 2 of them were going out like that. So it was giving me pain on the teeth and then just on the nerves and everything, so they needed to be removed. I'm glad that they were removed, but it knocked me out for a lot longer than I thought it was going to. The initial pain at first was actually a lot, so I had to take some decent painkillers, which, you know, just really kind of put you out of it, just kind of make you relax, and it's very hard to concentrate. When the pain started to subside, due to the fact that there were giant, wounds in the back of my mouth, I had to only eat really soft foods, which is just like, pudding, Jello, ice cream, nothing that's nutritious for you. So by the time that I really was able to start moving around and thinking right, my concentration still wasn't there because I had no nutrients in the body. So I got my wisdom teeth removed Wednesday, and then it took about, 2 or 3 days before the pain was gone, and then another 2 or 3 days for my nutrition to get back on the right track and for me to be able to eat things that would actually give me energy again. So I wasn't actually able to start studying really hard again until this Monday. So yeah, that was a big hiccup, but hey, in any learning environment, there's going to be a hiccup every now and again. I'm back on track, and I'm back to learning Japanese at full speed again. Fun little fact, I looked up because I wanted to see what wisdom teeth was in Japanese, and I don't have the exact phrase here, but it roughly translates to parents don't know about it, or unknown to parents, or something like that. And the reason for it is I looked it up, and there's like a bunch of different reasons, but the main leading reasons for it are, 1, it's because when you're 18, 19 is when the wisdom teeth come in, so by then you're off on your own, and the parents wouldn't know about it. But people thought it developed way before this, so it was back actually in medieval times. People thought that it was developed because by the time your wisdom teeth came in, your parents were already be dead, because life expectancy was 35 to 40 maximum back then. And so if you had a kid maybe about 28, by the time they were 19 or 20 and their wisdom teeth started coming in, the parents were already gone, so the parents would never know about them. Just a really interesting little fact about wisdom teeth and Japanese culture. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, on to the studying of what I studied this week. So as I said, I started on Monday, and I started going back into the studying listening, and my tactic for this is kind of a variation of shadowing. If you've never heard of shadowing, it's a technique where you start off listening to the audio multiple times, like a Japanese audio track multiple times at regular speeds. So something that you might hear on the street or any person, not slowed down when there are pauses in between each sentence, but at actual speed. And you have in front of you the English translation. And you listen to it, and you listen to it, and listen to it, and you read line by line on the English. And the reason you do this is because your brain's making the connection that when he says this set of syllables, phrases, and words, it means, hello, how are you today? Or something like that. And your brain will start actually putting it in, and as you're reading it, your brain's automatically translating it into whatever's in English. Then once you really have it understood in English, then you switch to Japanese, and you start looking at the Japanese, the syntax, and everything about that, and you keep going over and over and over, and then you finally switch into speaking it. So as they're saying it, you're speaking along with them, and it's supposed to be like a little bit of a brain hack where, because you're speaking along with it and you already know the translation and you've already looked at the grammar, it really just puts it in your mind, and it makes it really, really easy. And so I thought this was a really cool technique. A lot of people swear by it. It takes a lot to do right. Like, you have to really commit to it if you want to do it right. So I don't have exactly that much time, because I'm not only focusing on the spoken part of it, but I want to also focus on the written aspect of it as well, and grammar structures and stuff like that, and get a really good academic understanding, because I'll be taking classes, as well as a real world understanding. But I am using part of the technique for my listening. I'm listening to the audio, and I'm doing that at a faster pace. But it's actually really helpful because it's giving me the knowledge to break apart the words inside of a sentence. This week I was also able to get chapter 6 of Genki done, which is great because chapter 6 is a milestone, as a lot of people use that as the divider for one semester of college. which is good because, my goal is to get to the 3rd level by the time I get there. So that means I'm halfway to my goal. So in a grammar standpoint, I'm already there. I'm halfway to my goal, which is a great place to be. And then on the kanji standpoint, I'm actually at 139 right now. So that means that I'm already past an entire year worth of kanji, which, it all comes together so that hopefully I'm on track for my goal. And then another big thing I did this week was I did all the necessary paperwork for my Japanese visa, which is all right here. It's a pretty extensive process to get a visa. Like, the application process was extensive, and then I got a certificate of eligibility that states that I can enter the country and I am actually studying at a university there, which then I have to deliver to a Japanese consulate in this country, and then they will put something in my passport that says I have a visa and I'm allowed to come into the country. I'm doing what I say I'm doing. So that's the last process I need to go to Japan. The Japanese consulates zone you for different areas, and my consulate is in New York City. They zone like all over the place. There's one closer to me, but I'm not allowed to go to it. I have to go to this one. So I'm actually gonna end up most likely mailing it to them, and then they'll mail it back and I'll have the visa like that. But yeah, I'm excited because it's the last step before I can go into Japan, and I will just be able to focus on studying Japanese and getting prepared for the trip instead of having to fill out paperwork, which is what I've been doing a lot of in the past couple of months. Thanks for joining me for my Japanese vlog update this week. Next week, week 7, should be a good week. I'm thinking about focusing again on more listening, more grammar, structures like that. And I'm trying to find a language partner so that I can actually practice Japanese with, and maybe an online tutor language partner, something like that. For this last month before I go, I want to get at least a basic confidence level inside me that I can, get through some of the basic stuff inside me. And I just really need to speak a lot of what I'm learning multiple times so that it, gets saved and I can quickly access it. So I'll see you next week. And until then, じゃあまた.